My next guest takes on Amanda Bobby Cooper at UFC Denver coming up here on November 10th. It is Ashley Yoder joining me here on the program for the very first time. Ashley, how are you?
I am wonderful. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. I know you had a busy day already today. What did you get up to? And when you said you're going to work after this, what's the plan for the rest of the evening?
Basically, my day started with, I've been doing some altitude training with CVAC. So we're lucky enough in Temecula to have a company that does it. So I did that this morning, and then I went straight into what we call Deathmatch Mondays, which is hard sparring with big gloves. So it's full MMA rounds, but, you just kind of try to kill each other. So I've done that. I just dropped out of the shower and talking to you right before I actually have medicals first. I got to go get an eye exam, and then I'm going to my gym where I work.
Excellent. Well, I appreciate you taking the time. Like I said, interesting fight here with Amanda Cooper. You guys were both on TUF 23. How was that experience for you going through the Ultimate Fighter?
The Ultimate Fighter was something that, I wish every single fighter could experience. I know it's not, of course it's now over. It was a lifetime changing experience as a fighter for me. It kind of builds you to be independent on yourself because you don't have your coaching. You don't have, that support team that you would normally have in a fight camp. You don't know who you're fighting. You could be sleeping next to the person that you might be competing against. So how do you train? Do you put everything out there? Do you keep everything? It's just one of those things that was very, very tough on the soul, but it builds a better fighter. And, honestly, we all got along really well. I've done another interview before, and I think it's easy to say that I got along with Amanda before we even got on the show. She's a cool girl. She's definitely got a really good stand-up, so I'm excited about being able to strick with her. I come from no background, so I just kind of like to fight. So I don't mind being on my feet. I don't mind being on my back. I don't mind, I really don't mind anywhere in the cage personally, but I definitely excited about this fight, and I think it's going to be a really good fight. So.
Yeah, I agree. And you mentioned, knowing her on the show and everything like that. So when you get this matchup, are you a little bummed out, or are you just like, you know what? I'll fight anyone. It's business as usual.
Yeah, it's like that. It's not like I always wish her, like, even when she fought Mackenzie, I really wanted her to win. I wished her well. That is something that I just I liked everybody on the show. There's nobody I didn't like. So, but at the end of the day, we know what we're signing up for, and we get paid to do it. So why not all of us get paid? So it's nice. I don't mind.
I know everyone. Yeah, that was one of the few seasons where everyone sort of became really good friends. Is there anyone in particular on the show that you keep in touch with a little bit more than others? Like there was a lot of really good bonding that happened on that show.
Actually, me and JJ are best friends. I'm actually going up to stay with her a couple weeks before the fight and train with her because she lives in Denver. Yeah. We keep in touch mostly, but I've seen everybody from Khalil. I'm really good friends with Spicely and Andrew Sanchez. Even the teams, we're all really good friends. I've trained with Lanchana, Jamie Moyles, one of my really good friends. So that was something that was kind of funny because Forrest Griffin was always like, you guys aren't friends. They're never going to talk again after this show. And honestly, they're like some of my best friends. And I always like to make sure everybody's doing good and keeping up on their fights and stuff. So he was wrong.
Let's talk about Amanda. Obviously, she's got great stand-up. She's known for her boxing. How do you feel like you match up against her in this fight?
Well, I'm not a boxer. She is a boxer. But if you've watched any of my fights, I went against Justine Kish, who could be one of the best Muay Thai girls. And she clearly didn't make weight. So, Angela Hill, another one, amazing. I'm going to tell you this. I don't know if I've ever even mentioned this. I did not know Angela Hill was a professional kickboxer literally until after I fought her. I was in the room and Jason Herzog came up to me and he's like, cause he's reffed my fights since I came to California. So my amateur fights, and, he was just how much I've grown and, the potential I have and just to keep working hard. And he was saying something about Angela's kickboxing record, like professional. I was like, what? He's like, you didn't know that? I was like, I had no idea. So, just stuff like that, like knowing that I can hang with some really, really talented women. I'm not scared to face anyone.
Let's talk about training camp. You're still at Team Quest, right? Training out there in Temecula?
Yeah.
Okay, reason I ask is because, when you think of Team Quest, you think of, sort of the heavier weight classes. I know like Dominic Reyes is there now, get Sam Alvey. So who do you train with when you're out there?
I train with Sam every other round. No, I was kidding. No, it's kind of funny because we were known for really big guys, and it just depends on the day. Like today, we had hard sparring. I had a different partner for every round, so and that means there was at least 5 to 7 little guys in the room on top of Sam Alvey. That we have about 4, 5 bigger guys now. But, we have a lot of guys that are up and coming, and they're smaller dudes. And I got the privilege to train with Brandon Marino. He came and trained with us right before he had his newest child. I think he just had it in September. So, you get that opportunity to train with people that are little. But, I'm the only female at my gym, so it's a little bit hard. So I do try to go to other gyms and get some extra training when I can.
Where else do you cross train, just out of curiosity?
Huge shout out to San Diego Combat Academy.
Oh, nice. Out there. Yeah. That's the place to go if you're a women's MMA fighter. Limile McFarland, Liz Carmouche. I just talked to Maya Stevenson literally a second ago. I know she's been doing some training there too.
Oh, yeah. I trained with her a couple times. I wish I could have got more training with her this camp. Going down to San Diego is like a blessing to be able to do. Scheduling wise, it's a little bit hard just because some of my coaches need me here on certain days, and that's the days I need to be there. So I do try to go down there as much as possible. I wish I could go at least like every other day, but it's a little bit hard when you have like a full work schedule plus, trying to train, it's not when you're not the top tier of fighters, you still gotta hustle, and that's what I do. So
yeah, you mentioned working at the gym. What is it that you do over there?
So I do sales. I also am a trainer, and so I teach fitness classes and do personal training as well.
That's cool. At least it's in the same industry. Like you're not working in like finance or something, and you got to and then people give you that weird look when you tell them you fight. Like it's at least people get the industry that you're in, right?
Right. Yeah. No, I'm super blessed to be able to be where I'm at and be able to, have a schedule where I can work and train at the same place. So I always make the joke. I'm like, when I come to the mats a little bit late from getting off work to train after, I'm always like, yeah, traffic was really bad, guys. And one of the guys was like, where do you work? I thought you worked here. I was like, it was a joke. Like, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. How about the weight cut? How's that going? We're a couple weeks up from the fight.
Oh, really good. This whole year, I've been keeping my weight really low, even after the McKenzie fight. So, yeah, my weight's really good.
Good to hear. Who's going to be in your corner for this fight?
My corner, actually, I'm going to take my coaches that I always have in my corner, Pancho Feliciano, or Ricardo Feliciano, we call him Pancho, and then Gustavo Please is my boxing coach. And then my third corner, I usually don't have a third corner, but I'm going to bring JJ in for my third corner just because, I'll be with her. And, she was actually one of the people in the back with me when I fought in the Ultimate Fighter. You get to bring one teammate. And so it's nice to have her there. She knows me. She knows what I need to hear. So I'm excited to have her there too.
How do you see this fight unfolding on November 10th?
I don't really, I can never predict fights. There's nothing, I go in, just being open to anything. You can't have a game plan, because what happens if that game plan doesn't work out? I mean, you can have A, B, and C, but I feel like that's too much time to think. So, we just train to be the best Ashley I can be, and I'm going to go spider monkey. So hopefully you guys can catch a really exciting fight. I have a feeling it's going to be amazing. So
are you watching any TV right now during training camp? Any Netflix, anything like that, taking your mind off fighting and everything?
Yeah, I have a couple different shows. I was watching The Sinner. I just got into The Sinner first season. I binge watched it. I went to second season, and then there's a couple other shows like my first fight in the UFC, which is crazy. So I was binge watching Orange is the New Black for the first time. I was like, I don't want to watch this show. Like everybody was telling me to watch it. So it's funny that I fought in Albany and I was cutting weight in my bath, and I'm watching an episode and they're talking about Albany, New York. I'm like, oh my gosh. So like
it's a sign. Yeah.
I still watch it. Like I just started rewatching it right now. But yeah, I watch a lot of like at night because, after you train, like you can't do anything.
You're exhausted.
Fun, so,
yeah.
Yeah. So me and my dog just hang out and I play with them and binge watch, sometimes Eastbound and Down. Like I'm a funny person, so I like to watch stupid stuff, but sometimes I get into like, have you seen The Sinner?
Oh, I haven't seen The Sinner, but I have seen Eastbound and Down. That's a great show.
Eastbound and Down is hilarious. Kenny Powers is one of the funniest people ever.
You know what's interesting about that show? A lot of people don't know. So the first season was supposed to be a movie. So what they did was they just cut it up into different parts. So if you watch it, you'll notice that as the season goes along, it kind of all connects together like it could have been a movie. Did you know that?
You know, I kind of got that feeling just because of like the roles that like Will Ferrell played.
Yeah.
Like I could see it being a movie for sure. That's hilarious. I didn't know that.
There you go. Not just talking about fighting, also talking some television. But Ashley, I really appreciate the time. It was great talking to you. Just remind people where they can find you on social media. And if you have any sponsors or shout outs, the floor is yours.
Yeah, definitely follow me. I'm Spider Monkey Yoda on Instagram. Ashley Yoder MMA on Twitter. I also have the same on Facebook, and I would love to shout out all my sponsors. Eat Marketplace, they feed me and make sure I'm on weight. Dynamic Fitness, they do my strength and conditioning. I have Corey Cryo, they do all my rehab and stuff. Dr. Choi Chiropractic, and Paradise Chevrolet Autos, because that's where I got my car.